good news for Patrick Mahomes. Did you think that he was hurt? Because he threw 5 touchdowns and really it didn't look like he was missing a beat, but he hurt his left wrist on the first of 5 touchdown throws. But Andy Reid said his QB is full go for Thursday, so as expected, Mahomes, he's money.
Yeah, his version of full go is a lot fuller than most other people's. And so, look, I said multiple times over the last month that what I was most interested in seeing this season was what the Kansas City offense was going to look like. And so far, so ridiculously good. Dominique, I remember on this show you said many times, like the thought of trying to cover Tyreek Hill kept you up at night, even now, all these years later. Is it possible that they are even scarier if you're playing them this week?
Yeah.
Having seen what you just saw, are you even more nervous than you were when Hill was there?
So if Tyreek Hill's not there, I'm not as scared. But I got to be honest with you. I'm more scared of playing against Patrick Mahomes and these receivers than I am against Tua and Tyreek Hill. Because as explosive and dynamic as Tyreek Hill is, when you're playing cornerback, you can have the best coverage ever. If the quarterback can put it in a special spot or if he can buy time, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. I mean, Jeff might be able to put up 150 on me if Patrick Mahomes is throwing it. So I would rather go up against Tyreek Hill against a mediocre quarterback than cover some mediocre receivers with Patrick Mahomes throwing the football.
Chris, there was a lot of conversation about whether he would be playing within an offense more than he has through his career to this point. Did you see that Sunday?
Oh, absolutely. And all you got to look at is the average snap-to-throw time from Pat Mahomes, right? Last year, they had a snap-to-throw time average of 2.83 seconds, which was good for 24th in the NFL. This game in week 1, average snap-to-throw time was 2.55 seconds. That was 7th in the National Football League. So this dude is hitting his back foot, going through his progression, and getting the ball out to the right guy. And this is the scary part about what Pat Mahomes is doing now. He's trusting the play design from Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. And you're not going to find a better tandem when it comes to play calling, design, and sequencing than those two. So if Pat Mahomes is using the weapons that they put around him and spraying the ball around the field to his receivers, this is going to be a tough offense to stop. Listen, 9 different receivers caught passes from Pat Mahomes on Sunday. 6 of those guys had 3 catches or more. This is a really dangerous outfit.
Jeff, is it possible that what I'm hearing people saying is that Patrick Mahomes has another level to which he can take this, and he may be on the verge of doing it?
Absolutely. And listen, the way that he played, they tried to bring pressure, he made them hurt. They tried to sit back, he made them hurt. And to Chris's point, he's taking what the defense is giving him. And when a quarterback finds his rhythm in doing that, it's almost impossible for a defense to stop him, right? Because he's not afraid to check it down and let his receiver go do something. And there's a saying in football, right? Protection beats coverage every time. If you can protect for Patrick Mahomes, he's going to pick you apart. It doesn't matter. The great ones, that's what they're going to do. And so the way that the Chiefs reconstructed their offensive line and the way they've continued to develop that offensive line, with Heck being their offensive line coach, it gives him the confidence to stand in the pocket. Because we've seen the only time he really looked mortal was against Tampa Bay when his offensive line looked horrific, right? And then everybody's like, wow, this is what it looks like.
Actually, he looked immortal in that one, too.
Yeah,
he was going for these side-on throws, bouncing off people's chest.
You're 100% right. Yeah, point taken. But this guy is next level, so if he's patient and allowing things to come to him, hold my word.
Like, he's talking about the Super Bowl when everybody was hurt, and they carried him off on his shield after that performance.
Yes.
But the point is well taken. What did you hear from people you talked to about what that offense looked like on Sunday?
Do you remember all last year, we were sitting here on all our shows and people were like, oh, Chiefs are done. Chiefs are done. And then what do you know? They're not done. Around the league, nobody thinks that Patrick Mahomes is not arguably the best player in the NFL right now. And when you talk to DBs, when you talk to defensive coordinators, every week they talk about how you never know when the play is over. Like if you're a DB, like you are just running around hoping that your line can get to, like you guys can get to him because his receivers know that the play is never over and he's just that spectacular.
I mean, if there was a moment in time when we were asking, is Patrick Mahomes the greatest quarterback of all time? And now we're asking, can he get much better than he has been? That should be scary for everybody. But the Cowboys believe he could return as soon as 4. And Jerry Jones, as usual, has high hopes for Dak's return.
I have seen it just look hopeless and walk out there and the David slay the giant. I've seen it done. And at the same time, we played, get by us a little time here, catch it up a little bit, get Dak back out there. He's very capable of coming past this injury and having a great season, I emphasize that. If he didn't have it and we didn't have it, it would be different, but we do.
All right, so Jeff Saturday and Dominique Foxworth have both been in lengthy negotiating sessions with Jerry Jones. That's a speech you've heard before, isn't it?
Listen, this is what I see. I see wrestling. I see Undertaker. Pop up! We're back, baby! We're back in action! I mean, we are on life support now. Clear paddles were given. Dak is back. There ain't nothing better. There's nothing better than Jerry selling you 1 + 1 is 3, y'all. In my world, I got to be in that, y'all. He is right there. He is motivating this team. And listen, it's a fact. Without Dak, their season is over. He's just selling the hope, and he's doing a good job at it.
All right. In the meantime, Kimberly Martin actually does the reporting. And so the question is it realistic that he could be back on the field? Everything I've seen on our screen, it says 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Is it realistic that he's back within 4?
Is it realistic? Yes, because I'm assuming Jerry Jones is not out here trying to be Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman or Dr. Phil.
Why would
Dr.
you assume
Oz.
that?
I'm going to hope that there are trained doctors and professionals talking to Jerry Jones and giving him this intel. But is it a possibility? Yes. The fear, though, it's his throwing hand. The fear, though, is that this is the franchise. So if he rushes back and something happens, then you have a setback. And that's the fear. I think there is pressure on Dak because, like you said, this season hangs in the balance and it rests on that hand.
You know, we were together, Dominique, you and I, when Jerry first made those initial comments yesterday. We were all taken aback by it, and you expressed a lot of concern. Now, you've had a chance to sleep on it.
Yeah, you talked about negotiation sessions. One of the things we negotiated for is the right to a second opinion, and I hope Dak gets it.
Yes, second and a third.
Yeah,
second and a third.
And I hope the fans, I hope that they are not listening or at least not believing what Jerry is saying, because the definition of desperation is making biblical analogies in week 1. Like, we are already cracking open the good book. Like, he gonna turn water into wine. He's gonna feed 5,000 people too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be easier to do. I think Jerry has a better chance of turning water into wine than the Cowboys making some sort of championship run this year.
Look, it is worth reminding everyone, Jerry Jones actually said 1 and 1 is 3.
Absolutely.
So
I don't know what kind of new math that is.
Well,
that's billionaire math.
That's correct. When you're a billionaire, math can be whatever you want it to be. But
it's abstract.
Chris, all kidding aside, and it's impossible to do at this table, how are you concerned? How do you see the situation right now?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Jerry is talking out of school because we've seen quarterbacks deal with this particular injury in recent years. Think about last year, Russell Wilson having a thumb injury, having to have surgery, missed 3 games. A couple of years ago, Drew Brees, similar injury, you're talking about him missing 5 games. So that 4-game window, that's right in the range of what we saw those other 2 quarterbacks deal with. So even though the initial prognosis was 6 to 8 weeks, there is the potential for Dak Prescott to push it. And the one thing we know about Dak is that he's a top competitor. He'll do whatever it takes to get back on the field and try to help this team salvage the season. The only problem that I have with this is, did you see the first 3.5 quarters of that game on Sunday night before Dak Prescott got knocked out?
Yeah.
You're talking about the Dallas Cowboys having, 12 first downs? 12?
Yeah.
It was like,
Nobody had fewer first downs. Nobody had fewer points in week 1 of the National Football League than the Dallas Cowboys team. So, Jerry Jones, congratulations. You played yourself by allowing all of those guys on the offensive side of the ball from last year to leave the building.
Yeah.
Connor Williams, the highest graded Miami Dolphins player this past week. He was playing center for him. You're talking about La'el Collins, cap casualty with the Cincinnati Bengals, trading Amari Cooper, letting Cedric Wilson ride out. What did you think was going to happen? You were asking Dak Prescott to do more than a quarterback is capable of in terms of being a force multiplier, which is what landed you in this situation right now with your quarterback dealing with the injury after week 1.
Chris Canty brought receipts. It's like he's Robert Saleh all of a sudden.
Please don't put me in the same sentence as him. I actually won in New York.
Wow.
At any rate. All right, so that's
Write
where
that
we
down,
begin.
Robert.
We have a lot more to say about Dak, but there is another quarterback who's got entirely different kind of problem, and that is Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. We've seen it. He and the Packers wide receivers very much not in sync Sunday, and that includes, of course, the drop heard around the world on this, the very first offensive play of their season by the rookie Christian Watson. Rodgers was also sacked 4 times in Sunday's loss, more than in any game last year. It was a rough day, and Rodgers had